The details on the extent of a recent cyber attack on one part of the Texas Tech University system is becoming clearer after an announcement last week. Coming up, we'll have a look at what information could be at risk for patients of the UMC health system.
Some Texas Tech students with dreams of starting their own business took a huge step towards bringing their ideas to life last week. Find out how one campus resource is increasing the entrepreneurial spirit here at the university.
And Texas Tech football was back in action against a familiar foe in a game that was much more competitive than expected. But there was a lot more than just a game on the gridiron this weekend. MCTV's Jade Hernandez has a look at scores and highlights from all across Texas Tech athletics in sports.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Monday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Yemi Akinyeye.
And I'm Joanna Guerrero. Earlier this fall, a cybersecurity attack on one of the Texas Tech University system's primary institutions affected thousands of patients across the Panhandle and West Texas areas.
In September, the University Medical Center health system experienced a ransomware attack that stretched over to the neighboring TTU Health Sciences Center. And last week, UMC confirmed that the incident affected more than just hospital personnel. On Friday, the UMC health system sent out a press release with details and a general timeline of the attack. According to the release, the ransomware attack started on September 16th and continued to spread until September 26th. At that time, the hospital notified the public that the system was experiencing an IT outage, which was later confirmed to be connected to the cybersecurity attack. Patient-facing applications were not available for almost a month, and doctors and nurses had to revert to using older analog systems to keep track of patient information. On October 24th, the hospital and TTU HSC announced that all patient systems were fully restored, but UMC continued to investigate the extent of the incident. Then, last Friday, the health system began sending out letters to certain patients whose personal information may have been stolen during the attack. That information could include the patient's name, address, date of birth, social security number, health insurance information, along with details regarding any diagnosis or treatment received. Throughout the system, a toll-free number has also been provided for patients who have questions regarding the incident or are experiencing issues with insurance or health care providers. Although University Medical Center and the main TTU Health Science Center is located just across the Marshall Sharp Freeway, there have been no reported effects on any academic resources here on the main campus.
In other news, it was a relatively quiet weekend here at Texas Tech. Many students have already headed home since the Thanksgiving break starts in just over a day. But there was still a large group of Red Raiders who stuck around for a special ceremony that has become an important tradition for many future alumni. The Texas Tech Alumni Association held the annual ring ceremony in the United Supermarkets Arena on Sunday afternoon. The ceremony featured students from the university's 10 colleges, university programs, and the graduate school. During the event, members of the TTU Alumni Association, along with university administrators, spoke to the students about the symbolic importance of the ring and how it connects them to the university. Each student was presented with their ring by President Lawrence Skuvanek and then listened to remarks from John Mark Bernal, the Senior Associate Managing Director of Student Union and Activities. The event concluded as students put on their rings for the first time and joined in the singing of the Matador song. Sunday's ceremony continues the tradition that started back in 1999, but this is only the third year that all recipients have gathered together simultaneously to participate in the event at the USA.
Last Friday marked the end of the last full week of classes, but for some students and local residents, it also marked the day they could potentially take their entrepreneurial dreams to reality. On Friday, the Texas Tech Innovation Hub at Research Park hosted the 8th annual iLaunch competition. The yearly event features presentations in a Shark Tank style competition, giving finalists a chance to pitch a business idea to a panel of judges. 10 competitors stepped up to the microphone on Friday for a chance at $15,000 in prizes to help fund their business concept. The winner received $10,000 along with automatic entry into the Innovation Hub's next big competition in the spring.
The top 3 winners they get automatically admitted into the finals for the accelerator competition. And this accelerator competition really helps these startups become actual fully fledged businesses here in Lubbock. That means creating jobs, creating an economic impact. And so that's what we're really all about here. So it's exciting to see how many of these students are really eager to get into that competition.
The iLaunch competition wrapped up on Friday afternoon, and winners from both the iLaunch and Red Raider Idea competition were announced during the fall finale awards social later that evening. The social included live music, food and drink, and a chance to celebrate with their peers and other local entrepreneurs. The 2025 Accelerator competition will be starting in the spring, and applications will be accepted until February 21st. If you're interested in that competition or any of the other programs offered by the TTU Innovation Hub, you can check out innovationhub.ttu.edu for much more information. The South Plains area just finished up what might be the last weekend with mild conditions until next spring. Temperatures reached the mid-70s on Saturday, and yesterday afternoon, the Lubbock International Airport recorded a high of 82, just 2 degrees short of another record for this year.
We also haven't experienced any more freezing weather since last Wednesday's first freeze, but that could be changing by the time people start cooking for Thanksgiving. Let's take a look at the MCTV forecast. The sun is shining today on the MCTV tower cam, but we've also seen quite a few clouds moving through the area. It may not look a whole lot different than this past weekend, but looks can be deceiving. The current temperature is almost 30 degrees colder than yesterday, and highs are expected to top out just above 50 degrees. The cloud cover is expected to stick around the area through most of the week, but there's no significant chance for rain from now through the weekend. But the only thing that has been a factor beyond the temperatures is the wind. Gusty north winds brought in today's cold front early this morning, and breezy conditions continued this afternoon. The winds will vary throughout the week as the South Plains area experiences a roller coaster of temperatures for the next few days. Tomorrow, highs will climb back into the 60s, and we should see a return of the 70s by Wednesday. But on Wednesday night, another cold front will move through the area, bringing colder temperatures back just in time for Thanksgiving. From there, even cooler weather is expected to stick around through the weekend. Looking ahead, cooler temperatures appear to be sticking around as we head into the final days of the fall semester.
Although the colder temperatures may not be a welcome change for many students, it at least makes it feel a lot more like the holiday season. But before the first drop in temperatures last week, an event here on campus also helped put Red Raiders in the merry mood. MCTV's Haley Renteria stopped by the Hewlin Clement Residence Hall's lobby last week to join in on the festive fun.
On November 19th, the Residence Halls Association hosted their annual Celebrations Around the World event. Students were invited to come enjoy live performances, food, and a 360 photo booth. This event is a way to highlight different cultures around Texas Tech. President of the Residence Halls Association, Mary Shaw Davis, ensures that all attendees have the chance to learn and educate their peers.
Basically giving them the opportunity to share their holidays. During the holiday season, not everybody celebrates Christmas, so it's a time for them to explore different cultures from across campus.
All students came together through different organizations to educate and learn from other groups. Arissa Rainey, a member of Jinx, a K-pop dance group, says that this is a great way to appreciate and meet new people from all around the world.
So there's a lot of different tables of people I've never really seen on campus, or if I wasn't part of the group, I wouldn't know that they existed. So it kind of got me to know those people and their culture, and it's kind of a space for people to sort of explain without just for you to appreciate it, not for over information. You know?
The organization set out activities for students to participate in, along with henna, bracelet making, and the opportunity to receive a flag from another country. The food played a large part in the event. Davis says that the RHA was able to expand their menu this year.
This year we're in a residence hall, so we were able to go off campus. So we were able to get something from Tika Shack, from Vizos, which is an African restaurant here in town. And I think it's just super special. We were able to not just highlight different organizations, but also feed the students something they've never had before.
Celebrations all around the world was not RHA's final event of the year. Vimbai Mataruka, Residence Halls Association Belonging and Engagement Officer, says that the group is already preparing for their next events.
We have Carol of the Lights, and then next year in January we're going to have Red Raider Winter Welcome Week, where we have a week long of events showcasing our committees and what RHA does.
For more information, you can find their Instagram at TTURJ. For MCTV, I'm Haley Renteria.
Thanks, Haley. As we mentioned earlier, the Texas Tech campus was pretty quiet this past weekend, including most of the sporting venues.
But the lack of competition here in Lubbock didn't mean that the Red Raiders had an off weekend. MCTV's Jade Hernandez joins us now in studio with all the details on Texas Tech action around the nation in sports. Jade?
Thank you, Yemi and Joanna. Texas Tech Athletics has been making waves this week with standout performances and thrilling matchups against football, soccer, and basketball. From milestone victories to resilient battles on the national stage, our Red Raiders are showcasing the true spirit of Texas Tech. For the third straight season under head coach Joey McGuire, the Texas Tech football team has achieved at least 5 conference wins. The Red Raiders delivered a high-scoring 56-48 victory against Oklahoma State in Stillwater on Saturday. Quarterback Baron Morton and running back Taj Brooks were the stars of the game, accounting for a combined 8 touchdowns. Morton threw for 366 yards and 4 touchdowns, while Brooks rushed for 133 yards and 3 scores, adding a receiving touchdown to his impressive performance. Key defensive plays sealed the victory, with Jacob Rodriguez recovering a crucial fumble in the end zone and intercepting a pass late in the game. Texas Tech now sits at 7-4 overall and 5-3 in Big 12 play, showcasing a high-powered offense that continues to thrive under McGuire's leadership. The Red Raiders will finish out their regular season schedule this Saturday back at the Jones against West Virginia. Kickoff is set for 11 a.m., but if you'll be out of town for the holiday, you can watch on FS1. In women's soccer, the Red Raiders' incredible season came to a close in the NCAA round of 32 after a hard-fought 3-0 loss to number 1 Duke on Friday night in Durham, North Carolina. Goalkeeper Faith Wynn put on a stellar performance, recording a career-high 9 saves to keep the Blue Devils at bay for much of the match. Despite their defensive efforts and a few close scoring chances, the Red Raiders couldn't overcome Duke's offensive firepower. Texas Tech finished the season with an impressive 15-5-2 record, marking back-to-back 15-win seasons and continuing their streak of NCAA tournament success. The Texas Tech men's basketball had a roller coaster experience at the UKG Legends Classic in Brooklyn, New York. On Thursday, the Red Raiders came up just short in a heartbreaker against St. Joseph's, falling 78-77. Despite a second-half rally and a game-winning shot attempt that rimmed out, Tech couldn't overcome a 10-point halftime deficit. Head coach Grant McCaslin emphasized the team's resilience.
Our guys were competitive late. It was just dug ourselves too big of a hole over the course of the game. You know, this is a great team we played against and a great event, and we got a long way to go, but this team, I believe in.
The Red Raiders bounced back in style on Friday, securing a 79-74 victory over Syracuse to claim third place in the tournament. Darian Williams led the way with 20 points, while JT Toppin added 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Elijah Hawkins contributed 11 points and 6 assists as Tech dominated in assists and forced turnovers to secure the victory. With a record of 5-1, the Red Raiders now turn their attention to their next matchup against Northern Colorado on Friday back here in Lubbock. On the women's side, the Lady Raiders also had a successful weekend, increasing their win streak to 6 against the University of New Orleans. Bailey Maupin led the scoring with 20 points, but it was sophomore Jalen Bristow who really showed out with 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 blocks, tying her career high in points per game. Overall, the Lady Raiders forced 26 turnovers, resulting in 31 points, which was enough to keep them ahead throughout most of the game and securing the win with a final score of 78-70. Next up, the women will be back in action for the first time outside of Lubbock for the Paradise Jam tournament in St. Thomas on the Virgin Islands. The Lady Raiders' first matchup is set for 7 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day against Florida State, followed by Gonzaga on Friday and Missouri State on Saturday. That's all for this week's sports update. Stay tuned for more updates as the Red Raiders look to improve their records. Back to you, Yemi and Joanna.
Thanks, Jade. So, Joanna, are you headed out of town for the Thanksgiving break?
Unfortunately, I am not. How about you?
Dang, girl. Well, I am, and I'm super excited. Oh my gosh, my mom is going to cook the best of food. It's going to be a good time.
I bet.
Yeah, and finally get to go home. I haven't been home for all this time, so.
Really?
Yeah, I'm really excited to
my
spend some
gosh.
time with my family
Yes.
for the holidays. Anyways, that's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. Have a great Thanksgiving holiday, and we'll see you next week.